This is a very, very good question yet again. I've been asked, why am I giving different information to what others are giving? Why is the information so different? The reason why is because I am getting information from myself outside of the universal systems. If you do not get your information from outside of the universal systems, you will not get the same information that everyone else does. For instance, when I used to channel the Palladian High Council and the Arcturian High Council, they would tell me two completely different things for the same question. Why? Because they have two completely different viewpoints. They have two completely different beliefs. They have two completely different now moments. They're not in the same now moment. They don't have the same beliefs. They're not even living in the same frequency, technically. They could both be in 7D, 10D, 12D, 13D, even higher. You've got beings in the 21st dimensional planes as well, because I used to travel there out of body quite a lot. I used to love going there because that's where the unicorns are, on the 21st dimensional plane. I used to love to go through the unicorn realms. I know it's a bit odd, but it was awesome. So it doesn't matter what plane of existence you go to, everyone within Polarity has their own individual understanding and belief system. Now, during the angelic wars, why did the angelic realms and kingdoms fall? Because they could not see above. They could not see what was going on above. They could not understand what was going on beyond this multiversal system. If they knew what was going on beyond the multiversal system, they would then be able to have stopped the fall of the angelic realms and kingdoms easily. If you know the true story of the angelic realms and the fall of the angelic realms, if you've regressed into that and you understand that story, then, it will make sense. You'll understand that the angelic realms were attacked from beings from outside of this universal system. And in doing that, it turned everyone against each other. A massive war broke out, essentially. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but if you remember that and you've gone through it, if you've been regressed into it, or if you have memory of it, you would understand. It was not something that just randomly occurred. It occurred through beings choosing something and other beings choosing something, and basically a clash through time. There was a massive clash. The point is, no being in this universe understands the other being fully. None. They all have their own belief systems, as humans do. They all have their own understanding. So if I were to channel, for instance, the Ascended Masters Council, I'm going to get vastly different information than when I channel, say, the Prime Creators, Council of the Prime Creators, which I used to channel also. They're going to give me different information. If I channel God versus channeling the Arcturian Council, I'm going to get different information. Why? Because they have different understandings, different belief systems, different experiences, different now moments. The only way you're going to get solid information that is, you could say, pure, is outside of the universal systems in love. You need to step outside of the illusion into the truth of that which you are, love, and channel from love. Not channel 5th dimension, 6th dimension, 12th dimension, whatever dimensional plane, because you're not going to get the full information. They cannot see beyond their understanding. They can't. Therefore, if someone is channeling, for instance, the Pleiadian High Council, and you're asking them a question of, what happened in this event or that event, they're only going to see minimal. They're going to see from their own viewpoint, their own understanding, their own energy, their own connection, what they can do in that now. They're not going to see from the totality of everything, because they're not the totality of everything. They're Palladian, sitting on a council, having an experience within polarity, within an illusionary realm. If you go and connect with love, and you channel love through, you're going to get the whole information, everything. You're going to get the whole understanding. You're going to see from all viewpoints. You're going to understand even why the Pleiadians are giving you that information, and what their viewpoint is, and why they have that viewpoint in the first place. Do you understand? It's like humans. You're not going to understand anything beyond what you're ready to understand, or what you want to understand, or the information you've been given. You're not going to see beyond it. It's not just going to magically, you're going to know everything. But if you go beyond everything, into everything, then you're going to know everything. But if you go to a council or a being or, a race or a planet, they're only going to know from their own viewpoint. They're not going to know from other viewpoints.